Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, replaying the moments when everything seemed to shift? The laughter you shared, the way his eyes once looked at you like you were the only person in the world. Now, that gaze feels like a distant memory, replaced by silence that echoes louder than any words could. Maybe he's pulled away, maybe he's distant, or maybe he's gone altogether. And here you are, left wondering what went wrong, what you could have done differently, and if there's a way to bring him back into your life. The pain of losing someone's attention, someone's affection, can feel like it's tearing you apart from the inside out. It's like trying to hold on to water with bare hands. The harder you try, the faster it slips away. But here's the truth you need to hear right now. His distance is not your defeat. It's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a transformation so powerful that he won't just notice you again. He'll be drawn back to you like a moth to a flame. Let me tell you something undeniable. Attraction isn't about chasing, pleading, or proving. It's about becoming. It's about stepping into your own power so boldly, so brilliantly, that he can't help but feel the pull of your presence again. You don't need to beg for his attention or try to convince him of your worth. Your worth is already there, and it's time to make him see it. Picture this. You are a lighthouse, standing tall in the middle of a stormy sea. The waves crash, the wind howls, but you remain steady, your light cutting through the darkness. He may have drifted away, but your light, your strength, your grace, your undeniable brilliance is what will guide him back. The key is not to lose yourself in the process of wanting him back, but to become someone so radiant, so magnetic, that the idea of losing you becomes unbearable. As the philosopher Seneca once said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." This isn't about luck. It's about creating the version of yourself that commands not just his attention, but his respect and admiration. Attraction isn't a game of chance. It's a force you cultivate by focusing on your growth, your energy, your power. Relationships are built on connection, respect, and shared energy. When he first fell for you, it wasn't because you were chasing him. It was because you were simply you, vibrant, confident, and unapologetically yourself. Somewhere along the way, life might have dimmed that light. Maybe you started to doubt yourself, to overthink, to try too hard, to hold on to something that should have flowed naturally. But Queens, let me tell you this, the spark isn't lost. It's waiting for you to reignite it. The first step is to stop looking outward and start looking inward. This is your moment to reclaim your power, to remember the woman you are and the strength you carry. You're not here to wait for someone to validate you. You're not here to convince him of your value. You're here to own it. When you embrace that truth, everything changes. You become the woman he can't help but notice, not because you've chased him, but because you've risen so high that he has to look up to see you. Imagine a flower in full bloom. It doesn't beg the sun to shine on it. It simply opens its petals and radiates beauty. That's your energy. You're not here to beg for his attention. You're here to bloom, to grow, to shine so brightly that he can't help but turn his head. He may not even understand why, but something deep within him will feel the shift, the undeniable pull of your transformation. But this isn't just about him. It's about you. It's about stepping into a life so full, so vibrant, that his presence becomes a complement, not a necessity. It's about becoming so strong, so whole, that your energy draws him in without a single word. And if he doesn't return, Queens, that's his loss, not yours. Your journey isn't about chasing someone who walked away. It's about creating a life so magnetic that the right person won't dream of leaving. The time for second guessing is over. The time for tears is over. This is your moment to rise, to reclaim everything you thought you lost, and more. You're not shattered. You're a force of nature. You're not broken. You're evolving. And when you embrace that truth, when you step into the fullness of who you are, the tables will turn. He'll feel the shift, the undeniable pull of your energy, and he won't be able to resist wondering if he made the biggest mistake of his life. Queens, look in the mirror. Do you see her? The woman staring back isn't a victim. She's a warrior. She's a queen. She's the architect of her own story, the ruler of her own destiny. You don't need him to complete you. You're already whole. And when you step into that truth, when you embrace your power, you won't just attract him back. You'll attract everything you've ever deserved. This is your time. Not to chase, but to rise. Not to wait, but to act. Not to prove, but to become. He may have walked away, but you're still standing, stronger, fiercer, and more radiant than ever. Let this moment be the spark that reignites not just his desire, but your own belief in who you truly are. You've got this. Now, go claim your crown. If this message spoke to your heart, if it reminded you of the power you already have within you, don't let it stop here. Every word, every idea we share is created with you in mind, to help you rise, to help you thrive, and to remind you of the unstoppable queen you are. We pour our hearts into creating this content, not just to inspire you, but to build a space where you feel supported, empowered, and never alone in your journey. Your growth, your story, and your happiness matter to us deeply. So, if this resonated with you, if it gave you even the smallest spark of strength, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's not just about building a community, it's about building your community, one that lifts you up and keeps you moving forward. Together, we rise, we thrive, and we become everything we were meant to be. You've got this, queens, and we're here every step of the way. Number 1. Your energy is the gravity he can't escape. Have you ever wondered why he seems so distant, like he's drifted away into his own world? Maybe you've tried to explain, to reach him, to show him how much you care, but nothing seems to work. It's as if the more you try to hold on, the further he slips away. But what if I told you this? You don't need to chase him, convince him, or beg for his attention. The truth is, attraction isn't about trying harder. It's about becoming someone he can't look away from. Your energy is the gravity he can't escape. Let me be real with you. Right now, you might feel like your power has been stripped away, like you've been left on the sidelines of a love story that used to feel so alive. But hear this. You're not powerless, and your energy isn't lost. It's waiting, quietly, to be reignited. Attraction is about more than just appearance or words. It's the invisible force that draws two souls together. And when you step into your power, when you own the light within you, that energy becomes irresistible. Imagine a glowing ember in a dark room. It doesn't scream for attention. It simply burns, steady and strong. And yet, anyone who sees it can't help but be drawn closer, captivated by its warmth. That's your energy. When you stop chasing and start focusing on your own glow, you become that ember, quiet, powerful, and magnetic. He may not even understand why, but he'll feel the pull of your energy, and it will draw him back. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your energy feels scattered or dim, it's because you've been pouring too much of it into trying to fix something outside yourself. It's time to turn inward and focus on the fire that's always been within you. Relationships aren't about control or desperation. They're about connection. And that connection starts with you reconnecting to your own strength, your own essence, your own worth. When he first fell for you, it wasn't because you were chasing him. It was because of the way your presence lit up the room, the way your laughter carried through the air, the way you moved through life with confidence and grace. Somewhere along the way, the weight of trying to hold on might have dimmed that light. But Queens, let me tell you this, that light isn't gone. It's still there, waiting for you to uncover it again. Think of the sun. It doesn't follow anyone. It doesn't need to prove its brilliance. It simply shines, and its warmth is felt by all who come near. You are the sun in this story. When you focus on yourself, on building your happiness, on finding joy in the things that make you feel alive, your energy becomes like sunlight, impossible to ignore even from a distance. He won't be able to resist noticing the shift in you. And here's the beauty of it. When you take back your energy, you're not just attracting him, you're attracting everything you've ever wanted. The right kind of love, the kind that cherishes and uplifts you, begins when you're aligned with your own power. You stop needing validation from him because you've already found it within yourself. And that confidence, that's the most magnetic force in the world. Let this be the moment you decide to stop trying to prove your worth. You don't need to show him what he's missing. Your energy will do that on its own. You don't need to change yourself to fit his expectations. When you live as your truest self, he'll see exactly why he was drawn to you in the first place. But this time, you're not chasing, you're becoming. And that, Queens, is a game changer. Picture him scrolling through memories, seeing flashes of the person he once loved, and realizing that she's now become even more vibrant, more confident, more unstoppable. He'll feel the shift, the magnetic pull of your renewed energy. And by the time he does, you'll already be soaring, creating a life so radiant that his regret becomes inevitable. So, Queens, it's time to rise. Stop chasing the shadows of what was and start living in the light of what is. Your energy is your greatest gift. It's the gravity that pulls everything you desire into your orbit. Don't waste it trying to hold on to someone who hasn't yet realized its value. Instead, let it shine unapologetically. Here's your affirmation. I am magnetic. My energy is unstoppable. Write it in the comments, Queens. Declare it to yourself and the world. And if this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power that's been inside you all along, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're here, working hard to create life-changing lessons for you, because you deserve nothing less than the greatness you already carry within you. Number 2. The silence between your words is louder than any argument. Have you ever noticed how silence can speak louder than words? Not the kind of silence born from uncertainty, but the kind that carries strength, dignity, and unshakable confidence. That kind of silence isn't emptiness, it's power. It forces him to feel the absence of your voice, your energy, and your presence in ways no argument or plea ever could. This isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about reclaiming your space, standing firm, and letting your silence echo louder than his rejection ever did. Relationships thrive on energy, on the way your presence fills a room, and the way your words connect hearts. But when the energy shifts, when he takes you for granted or pulls away, the instinct may be to chase, to explain, to fight for what was lost. Yet here's the truth. Chasing only pushes him further away. Silence, however, pulls him back. It forces him to confront the emptiness left in your wake. As Epictetus once said, silence is safer than the most powerful argument. In relationships, silence isn't surrender, it's strength. Picture this. Your presence was like a warm fire in his life, providing comfort and light. But he didn't tend to it. He let the flames dim, believing they'd always be there. When you step back and let silence take over, it's as if the fire has gone out. He'll feel the chill, the void where your warmth used to be, and he'll realize how much he's lost. Your silence isn't passive. It's an active reminder of what he took for granted. This isn't about withholding love or shutting down. It's about creating space for him to recognize your worth. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop trying to prove your value, your silence becomes a mirror that reflects everything he failed to appreciate. It forces him to look inward and ask, "What have I done? What am I missing?" That's the moment when the power dynamic shifts, not because you said anything, but because your absence is louder than anything you could have spoken. But queens, this isn't just about him, it's about you. Silence isn't about waiting for him to come back. It's about taking the time to focus on your own growth, your own peace, and your own happiness. When you step back, you're not retreating, you're rebuilding, you're not shrinking, you're rising. And as you do, your energy transforms. You become magnetic, not because you're chasing him, but because you've learned to stand tall on your own. Think of the moon in the night sky. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't try to outshine the stars. It simply glows, steady and luminous, and everyone notices. That's the power of your silence. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It doesn't demand, it compels. And as he feels the pull of that quiet strength, he'll start to wonder if he's losing something he'll never find again. The truth is, queens, your worth doesn't need validation from him or anyone else. Your silence isn't about proving a point. It's about knowing your value so deeply that you no longer feel the need to explain it. This is what living as a queen means. Standing in your power, radiating grace, and letting your energy speak for itself. He'll feel the change, and he won't be able to ignore it. So, let him feel the silence. Let him sit with the emptiness and realize the depth of what he's missing. But more importantly, let this silence be your moment of transformation. Use it to build a life so full, so vibrant, that his return becomes an afterthought, not a necessity. When he sees you thriving without him, when he feels the weight of what he lost, the regret will be his alone to carry. Queens, look in the mirror. The woman staring back isn't just surviving, she's rising. She's reclaiming her power, her peace, and her worth. Let this be your mantra. My silence is my power, and it speaks louder than words ever could. Write this affirmation in the comments to claim it as your truth. Let the world know you're stepping into your power, not just for him to notice, but for you to thrive. And if this message resonated with you, if it reminded you of your strength, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Number 3. Become the compass that guides him back. Have you ever wondered why he seemed to drift away, as if the connection you once shared slowly unraveled? It's not that he stopped noticing you, but perhaps somewhere along the way, he lost sight of what made him stay. Now, you're left wondering if it's possible to guide him back, not by chasing, pleading, or proving, but by becoming the unwavering compass that naturally draws him in again. Attraction isn't about controlling him or forcing his hand. It's about creating a magnetic pull so undeniable that he can't help but find his way back to you. This is where your power lies, not in changing him, but in transforming yourself into a woman who walks with such clarity and purpose that he recognizes what he's been searching for all along. Don't chase butterflies. Mend your garden, and the butterflies will come. This timeless wisdom reflects the essence of what you must do. When you focus on cultivating your own growth, your own light, and your own joy, you create an environment that invites him to return, not because you need him, but because your radiance makes him want to stay. Picture this: a ship lost at sea, drifting aimlessly in the waves. The sailor looks to the horizon for a lighthouse, a beacon of stability and safety to guide him home. You are that lighthouse. You don't need to move or shout. Your presence alone is enough to guide him, as long as your light shines strong and steady. That's the power of becoming his compass, standing firm in your truth and leading by example, not by words or demands. Relationships are built on energy, and your energy is contagious. When you're lost in doubt or trying too hard to make him notice you, you send out signals of insecurity. But when you focus on your strength, when you walk with confidence and grace, your energy becomes irresistible. Men are drawn to women who know their worth, who don't wait for validation, but radiate a quiet assurance that speaks louder than words ever could. Let's not sugarcoat it. The distance between you hurts. You've probably replayed every moment, wondering if you should have done something differently. But queens, this isn't the time for regret. This is your moment to rise, to transform that pain into power, and to become a version of yourself so extraordinary that he can't help but be drawn back to you. Not because you're chasing him, but because you're becoming the kind of woman who commands respect, admiration, and desire. Like a compass that always points north, you have to stand firm in your direction. This isn't about changing who you are to fit his expectations. It's about becoming so rooted in your authenticity that he sees the beauty in everything you've become. Let your actions, your growth, and your unwavering sense of self be the guide that leads him back. When you stop trying to prove your worth and simply live it, he'll see you in a way he never has before. Imagine a flame in the darkness. It doesn't chase the night away. It simply burns brighter until everything around it is drawn to its warmth. That's you. The more you tend to your inner fire, your passions, your dreams, your confidence, the more irresistible you become. And when he feels the heat of your transformation, when he sees the brilliance of your growth, he'll realize what he's been missing. But here's the truth. Whether he finds his way back or not, your life isn't about him. It's about you. When you live fully, unapologetically, and with purpose, you create a life so rich that his presence becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Your path is your own, and when you walk it with strength and grace, you become the compass not just for him, but for everything you truly deserve. Queens, it's time to reclaim your power, not by chasing him, but by becoming the light he can't resist. Stand tall, shine bright, and let your actions speak for themselves. He'll see the shift, he'll feel the pull, and when he does, it won't be because you begged for his attention, it will be because you stepped into your true self. Repeat after me. I am the compass that guides him back, and the light that never dims. Write this affirmation in the comments, queens. Let it remind you that your power lies in becoming, not chasing. If this message touched your heart, if it sparked even the smallest flame of strength within you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working tirelessly to create life-changing lessons for you because you deserve to rise, to thrive, and to live the extraordinary life that's already waiting for you. Let's rise together. You've got this. Number 4. Your confidence is the flame that rekindles desire. Have you ever noticed how the spark of attraction begins to fade when you start doubting yourself? When you shrink back, questioning your worth, the light that once drew him to you dims. But here's the secret most people overlook. Confidence isn't just an accessory. It's the flame that rekindles desire. It's the energy that can reignite everything he thought was lost. And the best part? That confidence doesn't come from his approval. It comes from within you. Let me tell you something powerful. You don't need to chase him to bring him back. You need to stand tall, hold your head high, and remind yourself of the woman he was drawn to in the first place. Attraction isn't about proving yourself to him. It's about becoming so secure in who you are that he can't help but notice. Confidence isn't loud, and it doesn't beg. It's a quiet force, like a candle that burns steadily, even in the darkest room. And when you reclaim yours, that light becomes impossible to ignore. Picture this. Confidence is like the sun. It doesn't chase anything, it simply shines, and everything else naturally gravitates toward its warmth. That's your power. When you stop doubting yourself and start walking in your truth, you become radiant, and that radiance is magnetic. He won't be drawn back to you because you tried to convince him. He'll be drawn back because he feels your energy, your strength, your self-assured glow. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you see yourself as small or insignificant, that's what you project to the world. But when you embrace your worth, when you tell yourself, "I am enough," your energy shifts. That shift is what rekindles his desire. It's the realization that the woman he first fell for has become even more powerful, more vibrant, and more unstoppable. In relationships, confidence isn't about being flawless. It's about owning who you are, imperfections and all. The person he was drawn to wasn't perfect. She was authentic. Somewhere along the way, you may have started doubting yourself, trying too hard to fit into what you thought he wanted. But queens, the truth is simple. The most attractive thing about you is your authenticity. The more you embrace who you are, the more irresistible you become. Think about a diamond. It doesn't ask to be noticed. It simply shines. Even when it's buried under pressure, its brilliance is undeniable. That's you. You're not here to beg for attention or to prove your value. You're here to shine unapologetically. The woman he fell for is still within you, but now it's time to amplify her. Not for him, but for yourself. Because when you do, his attraction will naturally follow. When you stand in your confidence, you remind him of what he once saw in you. The strength, the grace, the light that made him stop and take notice. But this isn't about going back to who you were. This is about stepping into the version of yourself that's stronger, wiser, and more self-assured than ever. He'll feel the shift in you, not because you told him, but because your energy will speak louder than words ever could. Queens, look in the mirror. The woman staring back at you isn't waiting for validation. She's not chasing after what she deserves. She's creating it. You're not here to beg for love or attention. You're here to radiate confidence so boldly that he can't help but feel the fire reignite. This is your moment to rise, to remember who you are, and to become so magnetic that he's drawn back to you without a single word. Say this affirmation with me. My confidence is my power, and my radiance is unstoppable. Write this in the comments, queens, and claim it as your truth. Let it be a daily reminder that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else. It's already within you, waiting to shine. If this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power you already have, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Number 5. Let him witness the life he's missing out on. Have you ever stopped to think about what he sees when he imagines life without you? Maybe he assumes you're still waiting, standing in the same place he left you, hoping he'll come back. But here's the truth. If you stay in that space, stuck in heartbreak, he won't feel the weight of what he's missing. The moment you step forward, the moment you start building a life so vibrant and fulfilling that it eclipses his imagination, that's when the realization will hit him like a tidal wave. He'll see not just the life he lost, but the incredible woman who no longer needs him to define her worth. Relationships are about shared energy. When you're pouring all your energy into longing for him, it creates a vacuum, a space where he feels no need to move toward you. But when you take that energy and pour it into yourself, everything changes. Your life becomes a beacon of joy, strength and purpose, a life that demands attention without asking for it. He won't just notice you, he'll feel drawn to you in a way he can't explain, because nothing is more captivating than a woman who knows her worth and lives it boldly. Imagine a garden, lush and blooming, with flowers so radiant they light up the landscape. That's the life you're creating now. Every step you take to heal, to grow, to embrace your passions is like planting another flower in that garden. When he looks at it, he'll see the beauty he once overlooked, and it will take his breath away. The question isn't whether he'll notice, it's whether he'll even recognize the incredible person you've become. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Fill your mind with the colors of possibility, confidence, and self-love. When you create a life that overflows with these things, it reflects in everything you do. Your laugh carries more joy, your steps feel lighter, and your presence becomes magnetic. That's the energy that pulls him back, not because you need him, but because you've become unforgettable. When you build a life that's rich with purpose, it not only attracts him, but aligns you with everything you deserve. Take that art class you've been thinking about. Plan that trip you've always dreamed of. Dive into your goals with a passion that lights a fire in your soul. When he sees you thriving, he'll feel the emptiness of his own world without you. It's not about showing off or playing games. It's about living fully. That's the kind of life that speaks louder than any words ever could. Think of yourself as a phoenix rising from the ashes of heartbreak. He thought the fire would destroy you, but instead, it's transforming you into something more powerful than he could have imagined. When he sees the woman you've become, stronger, brighter and thriving, he'll realize what he let go of. But by then, you'll be so immersed in your own joy that his regret will feel like a whisper against the roar of your success. Queens, this isn't about revenge or proving a point. It's about creating a life that you're proud of, a life that fulfills you in ways no one else can. When you do this, attracting him back becomes a natural byproduct, not the goal. And, if he doesn't return, you'll still have built a life so extraordinary that you won't feel the loss. Look in the mirror. That's where your journey begins. The woman staring back isn't waiting. She's rising. She's creating a world so full, so rich with love and light that it's impossible to ignore. Write this affirmation and hold it close. I am the life he'll wish he never lost. Queens, write it in the comments, claim it, and make it your truth. If this message moved you, if it reminded you of your strength, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join this community of queens rising together. We're here, working hard to give you the tools to build the life you deserve. Together, we rise. Together, we thrive. Let's keep creating the stories they'll never forget. You've got this. Number 6. The art of emotional distance creates longing. Have you ever noticed how the silence after a storm feels louder than the storm itself? That silence doesn't beg for attention. It simply exists, powerful and undeniable. The same principle applies to relationships. Sometimes, the most profound way to make him feel your presence is by stepping back, by creating just enough emotional distance that he's left with nothing but his thoughts about you. This is not about manipulation or playing games. It's about reclaiming your space and letting him feel the absence of what he once took for granted. The truth is, when you constantly give, when you're always available, he becomes blind to the value of what you bring to his life. Like a beautiful painting he's seen every day, he forgets to appreciate the details, the strokes, the colors that make it special. But take that painting away, and suddenly the blank wall feels unbearable. Emotional distance works the same way. It reminds him of the warmth, love, and light you offered, leaving him longing for what once felt so natural. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. You hold the power to decide how you respond, how you engage, and how you redirect your energy." Emotional distance is not about shutting him out. It's about stepping back so you can focus on yourself, while giving him the chance to truly see what he's missing. Think of a fire that once burned brightly. It provided warmth, light, and comfort. But if someone kept adding too much fuel, the fire would smother itself. Emotional distance is about allowing that fire to breathe again. When you stop reaching out, stop explaining, and stop chasing, you give both yourself and him the space to remember the importance of the connection you once shared. He can only realize the depth of what he's lost when you stop holding it in front of him. Relationships are not meant to be one-sided. They thrive when both people bring equal energy, respect, and effort to the table. If he's pulled away, it's not your job to pull him back. Your role is to create a life so full of your own joy, confidence, and peace that he can't help but notice the void you've left. This is where emotional distance becomes your greatest tool, not to punish, but to allow him to feel the consequences of his actions. Now let's be clear, this isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about rediscovering your power and showing yourself the love you've been pouring into him. When you prioritize your own growth, your own happiness, you become magnetic. He'll see the shift in your energy, the quiet strength that radiates from within, and it will draw him back. Not because you're chasing him, but because you've reminded him of the incredible woman you are. Queens, living as a queen doesn't mean building walls around your heart. It means knowing when to step back and let your presence speak louder than words. You don't need to beg for his attention. You are the prize. You are the fire that warms and captivates, and your light doesn't dim because he couldn't see it. When you embrace your worth, your silence becomes the loudest message you'll ever send. This is your moment to reclaim your power. Stop waiting for him to realize what he's lost. Instead, focus on yourself. Build the life you've always wanted. Find joy in the things that light you up, and let your confidence become the beacon that guides him back to you. And if he doesn't return, that's not your loss, it's his. Say this affirmation with me. My distance creates longing. My worth speaks for itself. Write this in the comments, queens. Declare it, own it, and let it guide you forward. If this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of your strength, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We work hard to create life-changing lessons like this to help you reclaim your power, thrive in your relationships, and become the queen you were always meant to be. Together, we rise, we conquer, and we thrive. Number 7. Your unshakable peace is his wake-up call. Have you ever noticed how still water reflects everything around it so clearly? It's peaceful, calm, and unshaken, even when the world is rushing by. That kind of peace is a rare power, and when you find it within yourself, it becomes impossible to ignore. Imagine being that unshakable force, a source of calm so profound that it disrupts his world. When you stop reacting, stop chasing, and instead center yourself in your own strength, it creates a magnetic pull that he can't resist. He will feel the difference in your energy. The woman who once fought for his attention is now serene and untouchable, and that shift will wake him up in ways you can't imagine. You're no longer clinging to his presence or trying to make him stay. You're standing still, with a confidence that tells him you're whole on your own. That's not just attractive, it's transformative. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your peace, your ability to remain unshaken, is your greatest strength. It shows him that his absence didn't break you, and that realization will weigh heavily on his heart. People are drawn to calmness because it's rare. In a world full of chaos and noise, your unshakable peace will be like a beacon, calling him back. Think of a tree standing tall in a storm. The wind may howl, the rain may pour, but the tree doesn't uproot itself to escape the storm. It remains grounded, its roots deep and steady. That's the kind of strength you're building now. He may have walked away, but your peace will remind him of the love, stability, and strength he left behind. And when the storm clears, he'll see that while he wavered, you remained steadfast. Relationships thrive when two people meet each other with balance and respect. But balance doesn't come from chasing, it comes from centering yourself. When you focus on your inner peace, you stop fighting for things that aren't meant for you. And paradoxically, that's when everything meant for you begins to find its way back. He'll feel the calm you've created, and it will make him question his choices, his actions, and the distance he allowed to grow between you. Queens, this is your moment to rise. Stop waiting for his validation. Stop looking outward for the answers that are already within you. The love you seek begins with loving yourself deeply enough to let go of anything that disturbs your peace. When you choose serenity over chaos, self-respect over desperation, you send a message louder than words. You're not broken, and you don't need saving. You're thriving. Look in the mirror and remind yourself of this truth. Your peace is your power. It's not weakness to stay calm, it's strength. And that strength will speak to him louder than anything else. Let him feel the stillness of your energy, the steadiness of your heart. It will echo in the spaces he once filled, and it will remind him of everything he took for granted. Say this affirmation with me. My peace is my power, and it is unshakable. Write it in the comments, Queens, and claim it as your truth. Let this be your declaration that you're no longer tied to the chaos of chasing someone who didn't see your worth. Number 8. Your presence is the gift he didn't know he needed. Have you ever stopped to think about how much your presence truly means? Not just your words, your actions, or even your love, but the unique energy you bring into someone's life. He may not have realized it at the time, but your presence is a rare and irreplaceable gift. Like the air we breathe or the warmth of the sun, it's often only when it's gone that its value becomes painfully clear. Right now, he might not even fully understand what he's lost, but trust this, he will. When the space you once filled becomes a void he can't ignore, he'll start to see what he never truly appreciated. There's a quote that says, "You don't know what you have until it's gone." But Here's the thing. Your presence isn't just something he had. It's the light, the calm, the strength, and the love that shaped his world. Imagine a room filled with music, and suddenly the melody stops. The silence becomes deafening, and he's left wondering why the song that brought him peace has disappeared. That's what your absence will feel like to him, but only if you stand firm in your power and let your light shine unapologetically. Queens, let me remind you, your love isn't ordinary. It's not something that can be replaced or overlooked. It's a masterpiece, crafted from your strength, your resilience, and your unique heart. When you stop giving it away freely, when you stop chasing or trying to make him see your worth, that's when he'll feel the loss. The gift of your presence isn't about being available to him. It's about knowing when to pull back and let him realize what he's taken for granted. Relationships thrive on balance, on effort from both sides. You were never meant to carry it all. This is your moment to step back, to focus on yourself, and to let your absence speak louder than any words ever could. He needs to understand that your presence isn't something to be expected. It's something to be earned. Look in the mirror and remember this. You are not just a part of his story. You are the heartbeat of your own, the queen of your own kingdom. Your worth is undeniable, and when you embrace that, the world and he will feel it. Say this affirmation with me. My presence is my power, and it's a gift he can't forget. Queens, write this in the comments. Claim it. Own it. Let it be the reminder of your strength. If this message touched your heart, if it sparked something deep within you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We work tirelessly to create content that reminds you of your power, your worth, and your ability to rise above anything. Let's continue this journey together, Queens. You've got this, and we're here every step of the way.